Welcome back. The Children's Trust Miami Heart Gallery is a museum-quality exhibit of photographs featuring children in foster care who want to be adopted. The exhibit will relaunch at the Coral Gables Museum on June 10th. Since we began this initiative 4 years ago, with the help of our kids, at least half of the children who have appeared in the exhibit have been adopted or are in the process of being adopted. Before we introduce our special guests, we want to show you what goes on in creating this unique exhibit.
For most of us, the love and support of a family, having a permanent place to call home, and the experience of childhood innocence are things that we take for granted. But for hundreds of children in South Florida's foster care systems, these things are nothing more than a dream. There are brothers, sisters, sons, and daughters, and they want nothing more than a permanent place to call home.
All that they really want and are looking for is a family that will take them in, that will protect them, that will give them love and nurturing direction. And for the families, it's really a wonderful thing.
The Children's Trust Miami Heart Gallery, a joint effort with Our Kids of Miami-Dade Monroe, is a traveling museum-quality exhibit featuring portraits of children in Miami-Dade's foster care system who are available for adoption. By seeing the children's photographs, reading their stories, and hearing their voices, it is hoped that loving families will open their hearts and bring these children into their homes permanently, thus leading them into a new life.
Loving parents, because that really is their goal. These children have been through so much. They've been through very tough times, difficult situations at home. But when you meet them and you spend a little time with them, you realize how eager they are to have some kind of future.
There are children of all ages. Most are African American or of Hispanic descent. Some have physical, developmental, or emotional issues. They've suffered abuse or neglect, and in many cases have been moved from foster home to foster home for years. However, they all share one thing: amazing resiliency, hope, and optimism that somewhere out there is a family for them. Founded in 2008, the Miami Heart Gallery is a collaboration of dozens of volunteers who pool their talents to help create the exhibit. From stylists to makeup artists to award-winning photographers from all over the country.
It's been amazing. The kids are all amazing, and it's just really heartfelt to actually, be part of something like this. It pulls at your heart to think, that these kids need to find homes and everything. I want to take them all home with me, so if it was up to me, I'd be taking 50 kids home today.
Well, there's definitely a lot of energy here. I mean, even from the catering to the makeup artists to the other photographers to the assistants, and they all feel good because they know that this is a very important cause and that these pictures are going to mean a lot to a lot of people.
So many children in need of love, so many children full of hope, waiting for the chance at a new life, all ready for their close-up and so much more.
They have the capability to be so much and to do so much, and those of us that have our own children and know how much time and effort we put into them, just imagine if these children had that same chance, what they could be, who they could become.
Just seeing the smiles on their face and seeing them with their families and observing the love that's there is a really worthwhile and very, very heartwarming experience.
The Children's Trust Miami Heart Gallery has been designed to provide a window into the hearts and souls of these children, showing them in their true light. Their photos will enthrall you and will draw you into the center of their greatest dream, a day when the waiting ends and they become a part of a real family.
A family that travels, that's fun.
A family that's
fun, funny, and love to go out.
Somebody to love me, to treat me, to have a mother figure, a father figure, somebody that understands me and would like to help me.
So have a heart. Adopt a child, because all children are our children.
All right, let's talk a little bit more about those beautiful faces behind those photographs. And joining us now is Jackie Collier. She is the Southern Regional Director of the Department of Children and Families, not to mention a tireless advocate for the Children's Trust Miami Heart Gallery. And next to her is Aura Duke. She's the adoption recruiter for the Charlie program. And Mo has a special guest sitting next to him. Tell us about this young lady.
Lakendra is 15 years old. She goes to Centennial Middle School. And Lakendra, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself and what your hopes and aspirations are for the future?
My hopes are to find somebody that cares for me and that understands who I am and not trying to change me for nothing. And that's a loving, outgoing, and just all-around good person.
What would you, you're in middle school now, you're looking forward to high school and then college. What do you see in your future?
My future, I want to be a lawyer and I want to be an advocate for foster kids because I know what they're going through, and everybody needs to know that there is somebody out there that's going through the same thing and understands them.
That's great. That's great.
Jackie, a lot of these children start out as foster children. How do they then become eligible for adoption? How does that work?
What happens is that the children go to, they come into care as a result of abuse, abandonment, or neglect. And then what happens is they go to court, and through court we make efforts for reunification with their families. That means to go back and live with their bio families. And if that does not work, then they go into a track that's called permanency for adoption. Those children are placed into, they receive a court hearing, and at that hearing, they are eligible then to be, after that hearing, they're then eligible to be adopted. Currently, we have a number of children in the pool of children to be adopted. Lakendra is one of them. And the process is that they are waiting for families to provide love and to be permanent for them.
And how long do they wait? How long?
It depends. Some children wait a lot longer than others. For the most part, it's usually 2-3 years. Some children wait a lot longer. We have a challenge with older children because sometimes people don't want to adopt older children. But I find that older children are a lot easier. You don't have to worry about diapers and getting up in the middle of the night and feeding and that kind of stuff.
And you're talking from experience.
Yeah, talking from a little bit of experience.
What's your role, Aura?
I'm an adoptions recruiter, and I work with the children. Lakendra's one of my clients. We work together as a team within Charlie to try and get these kids adopted and find loving families. So I do what's called a targeted, child-specific targeted recruitment, which means that I actually contact families myself and look at wherever, whether they come through the Heart Gallery or foster, maybe they're fostered to adopt or word of mouth. And I speak to them about the kids, about the clients that I have. And then if they're interested, we try to set up visits with the kids so they get to know the families.
We always hear that adoption is so difficult. Is it that difficult? Is it that costly? Is it as people think?
No, it's not costly. In fact, it doesn't cost anything. And it's not a difficult process. You just have to have a lot of patience and know that there's a child out there for you, and that it takes time, paperwork involved, and you have to go through some classes and get your home study completed. So it does take time, and then once you find a child that you're interested in meeting and visiting with, that also takes, it's a process because, we want to find the best match or the best family for our kids. So you just have to know that it's all worth it, that the time and effort is worth it.
Or oftentimes there's a process whereby the family becomes a foster family and then adopt? What does it take to become a foster family?
We have to first contact one of the foster care agencies, such as our agency, such as Charlie, and let them know you're interested in becoming a foster parent or an adoptive parent, and then you have to take a series of classes. They're about 10 weeks long, and it's a weekly class, and then once you finish the classes, then you get a certificate saying that you completed. And then if you want to become a licensed foster parent, then you have to do a home study for licensure. And you could accept children that are not yet free for adoption. But if you want to do straight adoption, then you also have to complete a home study. And at that point, then you let the representative know what kind of children you're looking for.
Where could a family call, or how do they get in touch if they're interested in either adopting or fostering?
Okay, well, they could call our agency, the Charlie program, but also the other agencies offer also the classes to become a foster parent, adoptive parent. So they have to contact one of the agencies, or they could contact our kids, and
they can call 211, right? As well.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's been wonderful having you, LaKendra. Best of luck to you. And we want to remind all of you at home that the Children's Trust Miami Heart Gallery will be on display Monday through Friday at the Coral Gables Museum from June 13th through July 29th, and will continue to move to different locations every 6 to 8 weeks. But you don't have to wait, because right now you can visit MiamiHeartGallery.org to see all the children in the exhibit and a few from last year, like LaKendra, who are still hoping to be matched with the right family. I'm Liliana Varela. On behalf of the Children's Trust and Modesto Betty, we want to thank all of our guests and all of you for watching this edition of Our Children. Enjoy the rest of your day. Our Children is brought to you by the Children's Trust. The Children's Trust invests in programs and services that help make children healthy, safe, loved, ready to learn, succeed in school and in life. To access its funded programs and services in Miami-Dade County, visit thechildrenstrust.org or call the Children's Trust helpline at 211, because all children are our children. This program is